What's up, world? Welcome to Cage Minds. I'm your host, Micah. Today we're going to do our UFC 140 predictions. Since Toronto, Canada, it's going down December 3rd. Main event, John Jones, Lyoto Machida. There's 12 fights on the card. We're going to do our predictions. 12 fights. We're going to get right to those predictions. First fight, Mitch Clark versus Don Chalice. Mitch Clark, 9-0. Chalice, 7-1. Both guys are primarily grapplers. There's more video out, more tape out on Chalice. He looks to exchange more with his hands. Both guys have significant grappling abilities and potential for submissions. I'm going to go with John Chalice in this fight just because I've seen more video on him. We're going to give him a split decision victory. Hope that works out the way we planned it. Second fight is Rich Antonito, who's making his second fight at welterweight. He's the Raging Bull. He's 10-4. On late notice, he's taking on Jake Heach. Heach is 10-2. Heach is a wrestler who uses some wild haymaking shots to try to set up takedowns, get it to the ground. Antonito has good defensive wrestling from his college background, heavy-handed, looking great at welterweight. I predict that he dominates this fight, especially because he has an opponent coming in on short notice. I think he'll win a unanimous decision victory. Third fight we're talking about, Mark Bocek, who is 9-4, will take on the 23-3, 2-1 Nick Carney Lentz. Both men are primarily grapplers. It's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guy versus a wrestler. They're both the kind of grapplers, though, that can put their head down to keep fighting for the grappling. This would be more of a technical battle, a battle for aggressiveness and control to who gets the favorable position. I think that Lentz will win this fight with a split decision. That's how credible the grappling skills are. The striking in this fight may last for 45 seconds to a minute in the round, but we'll take Nick Lentz. Bocek can win this fight with a submission. I just don't see that happening. Next prelim we're talking about is Yves Jabouin versus Wael Watson. Jabouin is 16-7. Watson is 9-2. Jabouin is a striker. Watson is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guy who can strike. He has some quick leg kicks. The striking with the power goes to Jabouin. The wrestling goes to Jabouin. I think with the control, he has a thicker frame, a heavier size. He'll lay his punches in. He'll use his ground and pound. He will win this fight with a unanimous decision. But if it's a quick finish, if there's a knockout or a spectacular slug, I wouldn't be surprised if that comes out of Watson. We're going to move on now to where John McDessie, the Raging Bull, who's 9-0, takes on Dennis Superman Hallman, who's 65-14-2. McDessie has a kickboxing, taekwondo background. Hallman, catch wrestling, grappling. So we can tell he wants to take this fight to the ground. It's up to McDessie's takedown defense and sprawling abilities to keep it standing. If he's able to do so later in his career, Hallman, a lot of fighters, the chin starts to go. He was KO'd nastily by Brian Emerson in his last bout. He was out welterweight. He's dropping down to lightweight. I don't know if his cardio will be as good. McDessie's cardio is excellent. I see him ending it close to the end of the first round with the TKO. Probably a head kick from John the Bull McDessie, maybe a knee to the face. Next prelim that we're going to talk about, this one should be a primarily striking battle. Jared the Messenger Hammond, who's 13-3, taking on Constance Philippou, who is 8-2 with 1 no contest. Hammond, a Dutch kickboxing stylist, who will look to pick his opponent apart using the knees, the elbows, the kicks. I see him being very active. He's dropped down from lightweight to middleweight and has just become even more heavy-handed. Philippou is an Olympic stylist boxer who's practicing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I see them slugging this out. It's a cardio, and it's a little more of a heavy-handed issue of why I'm thinking Jared Hammond will win this fight in the third round with a TKO over Konstantin Philippou. The last of our prelims is Krzysztof Sosinski, the Polish experiment, who's 26-11, taking on Igor Polkarats. I think Krzysztof is stronger, faster, bigger. He's going to have the submission advantage. He's going to have the wrestling advantage. He's going to take this fight down, make it a ground and pound type fight until he's able to get the arm. And I think we haven't seen a Kimura out of him in a while, and it's time. A second round Kimura, his favorite move. Polkarats can win this fight if he's able to catch him and end him with a big shot, but I don't see that coming. Those have been the prelim predictions. We're going to move on to the main card. First fight of the main card, Prince Claude Patrick, who's 14-1, will do battle with a bad boy, Brian Ebersol, who's 48-14. Patrick is stepping up on short notice for Rory McDonald, who was supposed to be in this fight. I don't really like this fight for Claude Patrick. He's a good grappler, not outstanding. Ebersol has good boxing, good wrestling, and good submissions. because he was able to stand with Lytle, submit Hallman. I don't like this matchup for Claude Patrick. It could be close. He could force it to the decision, or we could see a third round stoppage. I think he'll get bloody. He'll get beaten up. It'll be elbows. It'll be clinch. It'll be dirty, nasty. I think Embersol will continue his hot streak, his 13-fight winning streak. Watch out for him at the veteran to make his name a force in the UFC welterweight division. Next one we got is Tito Ortiz, who's 17-9, versus Antonio Rogerio Nogueira, who's 19-5. Tito Ortiz can win this fight with his wrestling. Nogueira has good double leg defense, but not so great in the single leg or the ankle pick. It's been exploited 3 straight times by Ryan Bader, Jason Brills, Phil Davis. If Ortiz is able to do that, be the old Ortiz, if he's healthy, can land the ground and pound, he wins the unanimous decision. Neither guy I really think is that much better than the other one to get submissions, but if there was a submission, it would be Nogueira submitting Ortiz. Possibly he can also win this fight with a knockout if Ortiz gets too confident on the feet and just starts getting picked apart. But somehow I feel this one going into a decision. Either way, unanimously, I'm going with Tito Ortiz. Our co-main event is a rematch from several years ago, from the end of 2008. Frank Mir, 15-5, versus the 33-6-1 and big dog, Minotauro Nogueira. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in this fight to Nogueira. Mir's is as close as you could get. The stand-up, I'm giving a slight edge to Mir. He's looking to bounce back from 2 dreadful performances to now have another memorable highlight performance against a very worthy opponent. The winner of this fight, top 5, gets back into that top 5 heavyweight. Another title run for one of the legends. Nogueira can win this fight with a knockout. I think Frank Mir wins this fight, though, with the pressure, with clinching, with making Nogueira carry his body, with winning the stand-up. He gets a 3rd round TKO somewhere in there, possibly a big shot, possibly ground and pound, but I think these two are going to wear on each other, and it's going to be a classic heavyweight battle. This takes us to our main event, where Jon Jones looks to make his 2nd title defense of the year. He's already the 2011 Fighter of the Year. On the other side, the challenger, Lyoto the Dragon Machida, who's 17-2, looks to get back his light heavyweight title. I think we're going to see a fight that we've never seen before, but the same story from Jon Jones. He's going to pick his opponent apart with unorthodox striking, using his legs, using his reach, using that jab. He will clinch, take his man down, using his leverage whenever he feels like it, attempting submissions. I think that Machida will not be submitted like Rampage. I think we'll see a 4th round TKO, as there will just be an accumulation of blows that Machida will not be able to stand up to Jon Jones. He's not attacking enough and not going to be able to get inside the range. Those have been our predictions for UFC 140. I'm going to go back through those winners one more time as we're predicting it. We got John Challenge with a split decision, Rich Antonino, unanimous decision, split decision from Nick Len, East Devine with a unanimous decision, John McDessie